Hey, sports fans! Oh, it's PB&Z Sports Chaos. And PB, we're gonna get right into what we did last weekend. Army Navy. Was that epic or what?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic experience. I know it was on both our bucket lists. And hey, we took it in. We did everything we could to immerse ourselves in the experience. The march on was phenomenal with the Army and the Navy. The flyover, the parachuters coming down. Everything was just like it was almost surreal in a way, right?
And the game, I hate to say it was secondary to that all because it was a really, really good game. I mean, Navy was expected to win handily, and they were losing most of the game, right?
Yeah, and if you were playing by NFL rules, Army probably would have won because they had that pick six, but the guy's knee was down. He was untouched, but they called it back, and that kind of cost Army the game. But Navy was lucky to win that.
I want to say lucky. I think it was strategic planning by the Navy, which is a much more mindful and masterful military academy than the Army. That's all I'm going to say about
Okay,
that.
we know Dale will be watching this, and I think he may beg to differ, but okay.
I know he will. One of our compatriots in debauchery last weekend. Hey, so PB, so a few things happened. So starting that day, Mendoza, as we predicted from Indiana, won the Heisman. But Bavia, who I said probably could win if he had played for a different team, Pavia came out was critical on social media. I don't think I've ever seen a secondary guy in the Heisman voting actually go out publicly say I should have won it and ridicule the other guy. Have you ever seen that before?
No, that's not really good sportsmanship either, if you think about it.
No, no, bad look on him. Hey, speaking of bad sportsmanship, we were watching this. Sean and kept on showing us the text of this thing on social media. Sharon Moore, I'm sorry, the Michigan coach that got fired. This has gotten uglier by the minute, right?
Yeah.
He's texting a woman during halftime of the Ohio State game. It's unheard of in football history, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it was an absolute poop show going on up there in
I
Michigan. I
mean,
mean,
his
it's just
wife paid for an abortion of this woman, and then Sharon went to her house, wanted to shoot her. I don't know what it was. I mean, Michigan almost has to blow up that program, don't you think?
yeah, I would say, yeah,
Oh
for
my
sure.
God. All right. Three
It's
things in
kind
the
of like
NFL happened.
it's almost like the whole Penn State thing that went down with Joe Paterno, and in a way, it kind of remind. I mean, different thing, different
Yeah,
circumstances, but
yeah. But
but
the impact of the university, correct, right? The
yeah,
impact of the
yeah,
university. I would
yeah.
agree. That's a good analogy for sure, definitely. All right. Three things from the NFL last week. Mahomes tears his ACL, Micah tears his ACL, and Philip Rivers didn't die. What's the bigger story?
Probably the latter. Probably the latter. I mean, he looks like the freaking Pillsbury Doughboy out there playing quarterback. I don't know how he's doing it, but hey, all the power to him. I mean, he kept that team in a game against the Seattle team that we saw last night. That was, maybe you say it's the defense that did it. I mean, Seattle didn't have a touchdown that whole game, which is amazing. But yeah, we'll see what happens this week against San Francisco.
Get that game in a minute. By the way, so the Mahomes thing, I can't get over the irony of this thing, and that is, he's been to the playoffs, I guess, every year in his career, right? And he's in
Yeah.
his ninth year in the league where he tears his ACL. Tom Brady in his ninth year in the ACL after winning three Super Bowls. Mahomes also has three Super Bowls, correct? They both tear the ACL in their ninth year. Do you think that Mahomes recuperates and does what Brady did in his latter half of his secondary
Yeah, that's it.
stage?
I mean, because it took Brady a while. He won his first three, right? Then he had the big 16-0 year that they lost to the Giants. Then the next year he tore his ACL. And then
No, he tore his ACL before they lost to the Giants. He tore his
not,
ACL in 2008, right? So
no,
coming off
they lost
the
the Giants in
undefeated,
2007. No, they
they had
lost
the undefeated. Oh yeah. That,
yeah,
that one. That's right.
they
I
lost the
forget about.
Giants
I put that one out of my head.
oh, but they lost the Giants in the David
Yes, correct.
Tyree one was the 2007 season. They were 16-0. Then he tore his ACL. Then he came back, and then he lost another one to the Giants in some stretch there, but he didn't win another Super Bowl to what,
14, 15.
14 and 15. So he had to go a 5 or 6 year stretch there after the ACL tear before he won another Super Bowl. That's even more impressive that he didn't come right back and do it. He actually was older and did it then. I don't know if Mahomes can do that. I don't know.
You know what, PB? I was going to ask you that question because here's my thought. Brady didn't rely on his legs before or after the ACL. Mahomes does a lot of stuff by like wiggling his way, scrambling out of pocket, stuff like that. Stuff he does on the fly, right, off schedule.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to do that like he used to do? I know people recover all the time from ACL. Stephon Diggs had a great year coming back from ACL, right? But I don't know.
No, I don't think he's a pure passer. I don't think he's a pure quarterback passer like a Josh Allen can be, like we've seen out of Drake May. There's not a lot of people. I mean, you Burrow, maybe you could put Herbert in that category.
Joe Burrow, definitely Herbert. Sam Darnold's a pure passer. He's on a scrambler, right?
Yeah.
So those are the guys like that. And by the way, another guy that's like that we just talked about, made fun of, coming back at 40, 100 years old, Phillip Rivers is a pure passer only, right?
Right. So and because of that, I just question I question a lot of the longevity in the league for a lot of like your Jaden Daniels type, right? Coming out of college.
RG3, a good example. RG3, right?
Yeah.
Never was the same guy ever again.
Another one, right? So I get nervous about those guys who rely too much on trying to scramble and run the ball. It's just dangerous in today's NFL.
Yeah. I think Pat's in trouble. Patrick is in trouble because I know his mom will get mad if she's listening if we don't say Patrick. But if he continues to play that reckless, abandoned way, it's going to be a duplicate of that, I think, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right. You mentioned earlier, last night was an unbelievable game on Thursday Night Football, which Thursday night can be a dud or can be a really fun night. Last night was one of those nights. You got the Rams. PB, get this one. First, not on Thursday night only, but first in NFL history with 500 yards of offense and +3 in turnovers and lost the game. By the way, leading by 16 plus points in the fourth quarter, which Seattle has never done in their life, rallied from.
Yeah, they were 0 and 172 in the franchise history when losing by 15 or more points in the fourth quarter. So now they're 1 and 172.
Is that win more an indictment against the Rams or just, hey, Seahawks, they're a factor?
I mean, I wouldn't want to play either of those two teams in the playoffs.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'd probably rather play Seattle only because I think the Rams are a more complete team. I trust their coach a little bit more. I trust Stafford a little bit more than I trust McDonald and I trust Darnold. And you know what I mean?
Darnold had a great year in Minnesota last year until the last 3 games and in the playoffs and what happened to him, right?
Right. So if I know NFL teams do this, but if you had to pick a team you want to play, I would rather play Seattle than the Rams, I think, going in the playoffs.
I'm with you. All right, let's speak of that. Let's make some picks right now. By the way, last week was a tough week for us, right? All those games were playoff type games, had implications. We fared very poorly. So let's see if we could do a little better this week. The first game up, to me, is a playoff elimination game. I know one of these teams could probably still fare well if they lose. That's the Steelers. The Steelers go to the Lions. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Lions right now on the outside looking in, they're sitting at 8-6, right?
Yep.
And they have to not only win, probably win out, and hope that things go their way with this Green Bay Chicago game. We'll see what happens there. It's a great division because all 3 of those teams, Chicago, Green Bay, and Detroit. And
Pittsburgh, I think we all picked against last week, and they won, right?
Right. And here you have another week where Pittsburgh and Baltimore could both lose. I mean, that division in the AFC is looking like it could turn out to be a 8-9 winner. Whoever wins that division could be 8-9.
7-10.
Yeah. Well, they play each other in the last, so one of them has to win
Okay,
another
all
game.
right.
One of them has to win another game. I think Detroit just owns them in that game.
I'm
I'm
with
going
you.
Lions all the way.
I'm with you. I do. I know Mr. Rogers has experience playing against the Lions and with some success, but I don't think he has the same team behind him. So I'm with you. Lions wins that game. And what's she money got? Lions too?
He's got the Lions too, yeah.
All right, so the other game that has similar implications to that AFC North is the Ravens Pats. Ravens are the home team in that game. Ravens, I think, stunned us last week. We all thought the Bengals would be riding high and win that game. Bengals showed them a lot. I mean, excuse me, the Ravens showed a lot in the game, mostly on defense, in my opinion. The offense was so-so, but the defense, I thought, they stifled Joe Burrow.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's, I mean, anybody can move the ball and score points on Cincinnati, it seems. So I'm not going to give too much credit to the Ravens offense, but I will give credit to the defense. We thought the Bengals, to your point, reestablished. Everyone's back. Well, Higgins wasn't there, but Burrow's back and everything else. So, but man, the Pats, I mean, they were rolling and they were rolling in that game. I mean, they had won 10 straight games. They were rolling.
They're up 21 nothing,
20,
right?
21 nothing, 24 to 10 at halftime, whatever it was, right? I mean, I just think that was a like little blip on the radar for the Patriots. I think one of my favorite bets of this week actually is the Patriots. I can't believe they're getting points. The team is the same team. I mean, if they beat the Bills last week, they'd be favorite going into this game.
You're right. No, you're right.
They're only underdog because of that game. So what you're saying is that you're letting that game against the Bills define the Patriots? Is that where we're at? Because I don't see Baltimore having any chance in hell of winning this game. This is a blowout, in my opinion, at least a touchdown win for the Patriots.
Maybe I can't say a blowout. This is the same team that lost to Pittsburgh when they were down early in the year. It's the same team that lost to the Raiders of all teams, right?
Yeah.
So, and then it blew a 21 nothing point lead. However, the silver lining here for me is it's not at home. The Pats now have three losses at home. All their three losses are at home. They're
Undefeated on the
6 and
road.
0 and on the road, right? So
Yep.
I think this is a better situation for them. That's the only reason why. Only because they're on the road, I'm going to pick them in this game.
All right. Okay. G Money has them too.
Panthers Bucks, another de facto playoff game for the NFC South, right?
Yep.
Panthers came out of nowhere to be a factor right now. The Bucks are they're both tied with the same record, but I think the Bucks have the tiebreaker. What do you think in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I see Carolina's Jekyll and Hyde to me this year. They're winning teams you don't think they're going to win, then they lose to teams that you think they can beat. Just a weird season for them. But Tampa Bay's defense, man, they've just tanked over the last
Yeah,
the last I don't know 5, 6, 7, 8 games or whatever. But I don't know. I think Carolina can pull this off. I have Carolina. It might be a risky pick. G Money has Tampa, but I'm going Panthers.
my boy Baker is going to pull this one out of his ass. That's what I say. Baker finds a way to win at the end of the game like he did early in the season. Baker wins.
Okay.
This.
Okay.
All right, 49ers with that 100-year-old man, Colts quarterback, Phil Rivers playing at Indianapolis. I did I see something? Did I see this right? Is Indianapolis a favorite? I didn't see that right. Did I know?
No, they're not favored.
Okay, all right. Oh yeah, 49ers. I'm looking at it now. They're 5.5. So what do you think in this game?
Yeah, I think San Francisco takes it to them. I mean, I'm not expecting Indy's defense to really do much. I can see San Francisco easily putting up high 20s, low 30s in this game, and I don't think Indy's going to score against San Francisco. I think this is like a 31-10 type of game. I think San Francisco blows them out of the water.
They win, I might be a little closer than that, but God forbid if the Colts win, the 49ers, this is if the 49ers lose this game to the Colts, this is an indictment on one person and one person only. It's Kyle Shanahan, the guy that cannot win when he really should win the game.
Hey,
28-3. 28-3. That's all I'm gonna say.
28-3?
No, that's my reminder. That's
okay.
the Kyle Shanahan offense against the Falcons with the Falcons, right?
But hey, we were just talking about the game last night with San Francisco, with Seattle and the Rams, two teams that were 11-3. Well, because Seattle won that game and the Rams lost, that puts San Francisco in the driver's seat now. They win out, they win that division. So nobody's talking about San Francisco, but San Francisco wins out, they're winning that division. So
Yep.
they have that on their mind. They're going to win against Indianapolis. No,
Yeah, they
no
don't have
doubt.
Brandon Ayuk anymore because he pulled a little,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But you got San Francisco winning.
Yeah, I do. I do.
All right. G
I
minus
won't
two.
be surprised if the Colts win the game. So, all right, the last one. This is the only Saturday game we're going to pick.
Wait. No, no, no. You skipped Jacksonville, Denver.
Oh, yeah, I got to go back to. I'm sorry about that. Jacksonville, Denver. Uh, for me, Broncos only because they get the home field again like last week. But I would not be surprised if that one goes the other way either.
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver too in that one. Denver's just, I mean, I can't. I try to pick against them a few times here and there, and they just keep winning. I love what they're doing. Peyton, I think he's got command of
Home
what's
field
going on
carries them.
in offense and defense.
Yeah.
Knicks had a game and a half last week. But you know what? G Money's taking Jacksonville in this one. And Jacksonville's been playing good lately. So you
They
can't
have. They have.
blame
Trevor
them for
Lawrence
taking
is
it.
finally starting to be Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
There's another game. I mean, all these games we have, other than the Steelers Lions, which I think will be an easy one, could go either way, in my opinion. I know 49ers Colts on paper it looks like it should be 49ers all day long, but who knows? All right, Packers Bears. This could be the toughest one of the weekend.
It is.
Saturday
And
night.
yeah. And for the record, G Money has Chicago in this one. I was going to take a coin and actually flip it on the show and just wherever it landed, that's who I was going to pick. But that's not fair because then if I actually get it right, it's like, well, you didn't really pick it. So, and you, everything wants to lean to Chicago in this one because Green Bay already won in Green Bay. They're right at the top of the division. You figure they should split based on that. But I'm just not convinced, even with Micah Parsons out, I'm not convinced Chicago can lean on the run that they want to lean on the run. And I'm not convinced that the pass rush will completely go away either, where they're going to allow Caleb Williams to throw the ball all over the place. So I can see Chicago being tempered a little bit still by Green Bay's defense, number one. And I don't see Chicago establishing that run game that they want to establish with Monangai and Swift. And we don't even know if Swift's playing yet.
Right.
Green Bay, on the other hand, I think Chicago's defense is suspect at best. And I think Jordan Love could have a huge game. If Christian Watson plays, you got Jaden Reed back. He has a lot of options to work with. Jacobs is balling. And Green Bay owns
Jacobs is questionable for the game, though.
And good point. But still, and Green Bay owns Chicago. So that's another part of it. So I'm going Green Bay on this one.
Green Bay owns Chicago when Aaron Rodgers is there because Aaron Rodgers owned Green Bay. I own Chicago. Here's the only comment I have. This is the Micah payday game, and here's why. If they lose this game, Green Bay, and they can't get a pass rush, Micah is just solidified in like another $50 million in his contract.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's to me, that's the difference. Because he's not there. At the end of the day, if only because Micah's not there, Chicago wins, then he's made a lot of money off this game. So, all right, let's go to college football.
Wait, but who are you picking?
I got to go Green Bay.
All right.
Because I'm not a fan of Caleb. I'm not a fan of Caleb. I think his glass clippers are gonna fall off. Midnight strikes on the pumpkin trail carriage.
Oh, well, okay. Different on Carolina Tampa. That's the only game we're different on. So, all right.
So we start the college football playoffs tonight. Bama goes to OU. This game is flip-flop. OU's now a 1.5 point favorite. This is a historic game for one reason only. Bama has not lost to a team twice in one season since 1893. I'm not good at math, but I think that's 132 years. That's a long friggin' time. Having said that, the OU defense, when they played earlier, was absolutely dominant. To some point, when you look at the overall stats, Bama had total 400 yards of total offense. OU only had like 200, but they had 3 turnovers of Bama in that game. And that was the difference, including 1 pick six. What do you think?
I'm going to go OU in this. I mean, sorry, I'm going Bama in this one. For some of the reasons that you mentioned. And I just think Bama shows up when it matters in these bowl games. So I'm going to take Bama.
It's a 1.5 pointer. I'm gonna go OU. I think it's only a 1 point game at the end of the day, but I can't not go against OU.
Okay.
Hopefully that pass rush. Don't forget the number one in Division One in sacks. That's relentless. Ty Simpson has not looked good in his last two games. I mean, they barely got by Auburn in the Iron Bowl, so we'll see. All right, here's the game that I'm still up in the air on. I'm gonna have to be like you, like a coin flip on this one. Miami and Texas A&M. By the way, Texas A&M's at home. OU is at home. By the way, we should point that out because there's home field in these playoffs in this round.
Right.
Texas A&M's a 3.5 point favorite. They're the other team tied with Miami for sacks, 41 this year in the season. Carson Beck has thrown 6 picks in his 2 losses this season. What do you think?
I mean, I'm going off of what I've seen. And I've watched a lot of Miami games because they're on down here all the time, of course. I've gone to a Miami game this year. My first U Miami game, by the way, in Florida, because we saw him up in BC once. And I saw him play Louisville. And I don't know if that was just a one-off game where they looked really flat, but I was not impressed at all with their gameplay. So I'm gonna go A&M. I'm gonna lay the points. I think E&M takes it to them.
Wait, the previous game, I think G Money hit OU, correct?
He did.
And this game, he does go Miami, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
He does. Yeah.
And he made a convincing argument to me earlier today when we had a brew or two. But I'm with you. I think Texas A&M, just because of the Carson Beck factor, he doesn't look well against good teams that are tough. I'm going Texas A&M.
All right.
All right. Here's the two games. They're blowout games on paper. Tulane goes to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 17.5 point favorite. They have a new coach. Everything's changed over there. A lot of turmoil. Does it impact them at all in this game?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I
You
think
get
they
Ole
blow them
Miss?
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is like a 45-10 type of game.
yeah.
I'm going Ole Miss all day.
G Money as well, right?
No, he's taking Tulane.
Oh, he's likes the points. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The game I like the points is the next one. James Madison, Oregon. We're picking at 21, correct? That's what we decided on when it was 21 the other day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's dropped to 20.5, which, believe it or not, if it was 20.5 when we said we're going to pick these games, I would pick Oregon. But at 21, that means they have to win by 4 scores, 3 touchdowns, and anything else, right? I'm going James Madison at 21.
Wow. I think Oregon kills them. I think this game, they get into the 50s. I think this game's 51-13 or something like that. I think they blow them out. I got Oregon. I'm not going to fall into the trap of the
I think
points.
more. It's not that I'm falling in a trap. I think James Madison establishes something there. Don't forget, Chris Signetti came from James Madison. I think he's left enough in the foundation there that they're going to be a tough team for years to come. Now they're in Division One. I won't be surprised they hang around this game. I love Oregon. That's my sneaky favorite to be in the college final, right? But I think James Madison hangs around. They keep it within 21.
All right. All right. I got
It's on the dot 21.
me and G Money both have Oregon, so you got James Madison on that one. A little different.
I think I'm a little more in James Madison's favor than Tulane. All right, man. Good show. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely. All right, man.